Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. There is some more news starting to rattle in the U.S. Senate, and it is for the benefit of veterans, and there is a lot of vigor. So I wanted to read through this for you. This is directly from the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee website, the Committee on Veterans Affairs, who is chaired by Senator Tester. All right, so here we go. Hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel, consider being a member. It does help the channel. Thank you to all of you members. I really appreciate each and every one of you. It also helps me to find your guys' comments quicker, and I can reply and acknowledge your comments much easier. So anyway, let's jump back into it here. Tester calls on colleagues to crack down on claim sharks scamming veterans alongside veteran service organizations. Whew, that's a mouthful. So I'm going to read that part again. Tester, who is the chair of the committee, calls on colleagues to crack down on claims sharks scamming veterans alongside veteran service organizations. So let's read through this here and let's see if we can pick anything out. So Senator and veteran service organizations stressed need to reinstate criminal penalties for unaccredited thieves preying on veterans' hard-earned benefits with Tester's Guard VA Benefits Act. Okay, so the veteran service organizations, and so here's the thing. VSO, the acronym or whatever you want to call it, VSO, so that could be two things. There's some confusion around it. One is veteran service organizations, which is typically going to be your VFWs, your American Legions, so on and so forth, right? DAV, Paralyzed Veterans, Purple Heart, and Marine Corps League. I mean, the list goes on. That is your veteran service organizations. Now, within those veteran service organizations, they will often have an accredited representative who can help veterans file their claims. Now, sometimes these are like part-time people. They do it here or there, whatever. I get it. Some of them are super good. Some of them are dedicated full-time people. It just depends, right? Pick your flavor. It's different everywhere. Now, the other VSO is your veteran service officer. Many states, not all, many states will have VSOs and VSRs strewn throughout either the state government or through the county governments within the state. So these are employees from the government who are accredited VSO, Veteran Service Officer, and VSR, Veteran Service Representatives, that are able to assist, again, accredited with the VA, and can assist you with filing your claim. These are typically full-time, this is my job, day in, day out people. Or groups. Sometimes in a bigger area, let's say like Los Angeles, California, you're going to have a veteran service officer who is the department head, who then has a whole host of VSRs and managers and supervisors and admin people and front desks and all of that type of stuff. So they'll have a big organization that is there to help the massive veteran population just due to the size of the area. So VSO is two different things, and sometimes it's hard to tell the difference of what people are talking about. So just to kind of, I don't know, inform you. All right, so moving on here, this just was released a couple days ago, and I wanted to read through it. So here we go. U.S. Senator Jon Tester, chairman of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, today joined the nation's leading veteran service organizations at a press conference to warn veterans about the dangers of pay-to-play claims consulting companies known as claim sharks. Okay, so anybody who's charging you to help you with your claim is basically what they're saying, specifically if they're not accredited, right? Now, you're going to have people that you would pay like a like an attorney or a claims agent in which you can pay, but there's certain rules around what they can offer you, right? They typically will not work with you on a brand new claim. They want you to go work with a veteran service officer or a veteran service rep or an accredited representative somewhere for your initial claim. Then if you have to appeal it, they can help you with the appeal if you so choose. And then there is a cost to that on their side, the claims agent and attorney side. So this is talking about people that are not accredited, who are charging you money, who have no access to the VA. They don't have any kind of peek behind the curtain stuff. All right, so let's move on. Tester urged his colleagues to reinstate the criminal penalties to hold these unaccredited thieves charging veterans unauthorized fees while helping them file Department of Veterans Affairs disability claims accountable. The quote here is, "We're here because veterans risked their lives to defend this country, and right now VA does not have the appropriate enforcement mechanisms to hold crooks looking to prey on veterans and their hard-earned benefits accountable," said Tester. The PACT Act gives toxic exposed veterans the health care and benefits they have earned, and if it gives even one nickel to these claim sharks, I think there should be hell to pay. So in other words, what he's, I think, kind of alluding to here is, let's say you're a Vietnam veteran, for example, and you have high blood pressure. And now that is a presumptive condition, and all you need to do is file a claim with proof that you served in an Agent Orange area and proof that you have hypertension or high blood pressure, and the VA is going to award you that claim. There's no extra hard work involved in that. So what he's saying here is, if you, a Vietnam veteran, were to go to one of these organizations to get help to file your claim for high blood pressure, and then they go, great, your high blood pressure is super bad and you're getting, all this back pay, and I'm getting 5 or 6 months worth of the difference in your pay, it's probably not really worth it, because there was no real work to be done, and you could have just done that yourself, or went to an accredited representative who could do it for free, very easily. So it's not a complex thing. So I think that's kind of what he's saying there. And I'll also throw this in there for those that are hanging on. I'm not saying every organization out there that's not accredited is bad. Some of them do great work, I'm sure, and in some cases maybe you need that extra loving touch in order to actually get everything put together to get it through. I think that there's a place for everything. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't do that myself, but not everybody has the same capacity to figure out the puzzle, right? So let's move on. He continued, "That's why I'm calling on my colleagues to join me in the effort to reinstate criminal penalties so that we can crack down on these claim sharks, because what they're doing is illegal. It is against the law. Republicans and Democrats worked together to get the PACT Act passed, and we need to come together again to fix this problem so criminals cannot take advantage of our veterans with empty promises and a huge price tag. The senator joined the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Disabled American Veterans, the National Association of County Veteran Service Officers, Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, Student Veterans of America, Vietnam Veterans of America, and accredited veterans advocates at the press conference. The harm that unaccredited claim agents have caused veterans and survivors has been significant, said Christina Keenan, Deputy Director of the VFW National Legislative Service. Several of these companies are even sponsoring veteran events, sporting events, and panels, doing everything they can to appear legitimate while scamming people out of their benefits. Many thanks to Senator Tester for this continued partnership and leadership with the Guard VA Benefits Act to reinstate penalties to crack down on claims sharks. DAV believes that no veteran should have to pay to file a claim under any circumstance, period, said Jim Marzalek, DAV National Service Director. Yet, there are companies who look at those who have already paid the price through their service and sacrifices as targets to be used to line their own pockets. And they'll do it by emptying veterans' pockets under the guise of claiming they can do what VSOs like DAV can't. And they're wrong. With over a century of service to America's disabled veterans, DAV and our fellow VA accredited VSOs will continue. So, again, VSOs, right? So, VA and our fellow VA accredited VSOs will continue providing assistance to our nation's heroes and their families, and will do it at no cost. We thank Senator Tester for his leadership in effort to hold these bad actors accountable with the Guard VA Benefits Act. I'm going to throw in there that not all, but part of the problem is a lot of these veteran service officers, okay, the ones that are county run, okay, so the ones that are state or county employees, these organizations are underfunded. Therefore, what happens is they don't have the ability to do outreach. They don't have the ability to really focus in on a very, I mean, they do, but then what happens is it prolongs everybody else. And so what happens is that they're running skeleton crews, and then, unfortunately, what happens is veterans who have a complex claim may feel as though things are just dragging on too long, and you get antsy and you start wanting to get answers now, and then they'll go to somebody who says, hey, I'll do it for you now. Just give me some money and I'll knock this out for you, right? So then they go there because the idea that it's going to move quicker and they're going to be able to actually get some traction. So a little more money designated to the local resources for claims would be probably a good thing. So let's move on here. Tester, chairman of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, is leading the effort along with these veteran service organizations to reinstate criminal penalties for predatory unaccredited veterans, claims representatives who charge veterans unauthorized fees while helping them file VA disability claims, with his governing unaccredited representatives defrauding VA Benefits Act, the GUARD Act. He also led the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee hearing in April to examine fraud and scams targeting veterans and their families, and identifying mechanisms to hold bad actors accountable. At a Senate Banking Committee hearing earlier this month, Tester and veterans advocates stressed the need to reinstate criminal penalties to hold these predatory organizations looking to exploit veterans filing for benefits accountable. The senator also led a bipartisan letter co-signed by more than 30 members of Congress urging the VA to increase their use of current enforcement authorities, asking that additional resources that the department needs to hold scammers accountable, and emphasizing that the current status quo is not an option. So that concludes this kind of news release with that additional push for the GUARD Act, the GUARD VA Benefits Act. So with that, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Be safe out there. Watch yourself. Look out for scams, no matter where they come from. I appreciate you. Have a great one. Remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.